Hello, friends, family, acquaintances. Hope your week is going well. Thanks for being back for chapter 13. And just wanted to encourage you, whatever's going on this week, God is there, and it's a good thing to be in His Word and stay close. So, Genesis chapter 12, we saw God introduce the Abrahamic covenant between Him and Abraham. And then we saw Abraham's interaction with Pharaoh and telling Pharaoh that his wife was his sister and all that. So let's see how that turns out. All right, here we go. So Abraham went up from Egypt to the Negev, which is a large land area in southern Israel. He and his wife and all that belonged to him, and Lot with him. Now Abraham was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. He went on his journeys from the Negev as far as Bethel, which was about 10 miles north of Jerusalem, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the altar which he had made there formerly, and that was mentioned in chapter 12. And there Abraham called on the name of the Lord. Now Lot, who went with Abraham, also had flocks and herds and tents. Verse 6, And the land could not sustain them while dwelling together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to remain together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. Now the Canaanite and the Perizzite were dwelling in the land. So Abraham said to Lot, Please, let there be no strife between you and me, nor between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. Which was really just a reference to their kinship because Lot was Abraham's nephew. Is not the whole land before you? Please separate from me. If to the left, then I will go to the right, or if to the right, then I will go to the left. Verse 10, Lot lifted up his eyes and saw all the valley of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt as you go to Zoar. So Lot chose for himself all the valley of the Jordan, and Lot journeyed eastward. Thus they separated from each other. Abraham settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled in the cities of the valley, and moved his tents as far as Sodom. And it's real important to note that Abraham settled in Canaan because a lot of events will happen there. Verse 13, Now the men of Sodom were wicked exceedingly, and sinners against the Lord. Verse 14, The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, Now lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward, and eastward and westward. For all the land which you see, I will give it to you and to your descendants forever. And this was an affirmation from God to the promise he gave in chapter 12. Verse 16, I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if anyone can number the dust of the earth, then your descendants can also be numbered. Arise, walk about the land through its length and breadth, for I will give it to you. Then Abraham moved his tent and came and dwelt by the oaks of Mamre, which are in Hebron. And this was approximately about 20 miles south of Jerusalem. And there he built an altar to the Lord. So in chapter 13 here, we see Abraham walking by faith, generously let Lot choose first. Abraham was unselfish, trusting God. It appears that he had learned it was not by his own plan that he would come into possession, or by jealously guarding what was his, because essentially nothing is ours. He acted righteously and generously. One who believes that God is pledged to provide for him is not greedy, anxious, or covetous. He is confident that God will provide and will deal with any injustice over time if it is God's will. All right, thanks for being here. Hope you can come back tomorrow. God bless.